Donald Trump's policies are not popular at all, and this is why MAGA congressmen are packing up their toys and running away from town halls because they are getting ripped all across America, deeply, deeply red districts. Nobody likes this stuff. Pumps, what you got?
So North Carolina Congressman Chuck Edwards held a town hall, and here is how it started, and I'll show you how it ended.
Thank you for that feedback.
I'm a veteran. You don't give a fuck about me.
To be clear,
I mean, that says it all. Fuck you. You're lying. That's what they do. You know how they treat veterans. Republicans are terrible for veterans.
You know, Republicans have consistently not voted to fund the soldier when he gets home from the war. And it's all of this superficial patriotism, superficial support the troops. And they stand up and they do the national anthem and they act so intense about it. But here's a man, Donald Trump, who has consistently demeaned and criticized our troops, calls them suckers, losers, browbeat John McCain. John McCain was a POW.
Right.
Donald Trump is like bone spur, trust fund baby. That guy would shit his pants more than he does now if he were actually near combat. I mean, it would be, I don't think there's a diaper big enough that could contain the fear because he's a bully and he is a coward. And all of this MAGA shit is performative. And a bunch of these triple Trumpers are finding out he doesn't love America. He doesn't love freedom, and he's firing 80,000 veterans, and he's dismantling the American military for a dipshit, untreated, alcoholic Fox News blowhard.
Not to mention that he's cut the funding for 9/11 survivors. He's cut the funding for veteran health care, the suicide hotline. I mean, just go on and on about all the services for veterans that he's cut. And on top of that, he fires them. One constituent had a fantastic question for Congressman Edwards.
I'm trying to get your opinion on this as a yes or no. Do you support Trump on annexing Canada or Greenland? And do you like the way he treats the premier or the president of Canada, calling him governor? Is that the way you do as a diplomat? Is that the way the United States should act to our closest neighbors? You know, is this? And I've still got a little more time. Do you enjoy the way he's tried to extort minerals from the Ukraine? Do you like bullying people that need your help? Do you go for kicking the guy when he's down? Do you support Trump in these things? And this is a yes or no.
I think this is a really important video because all of that Governor Trudeau, all of that in the manosphere, and all of that to the people who feast on Fox News as breakfast, appetizer, entree, dessert. They like cruelty. And so they like that kind of faux masculinity thrown out there on Twitter. They like it when he does that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of very decent, hardworking, working class Americans that see that and they instantly recognize how weak and disrespectful it is. And they don't want to be attached to it. And that's what I think the nuance is in that man's question. Like when he calls the Prime Minister of Canada governor, you think that's cool? Because I think that's disrespectful. And there's millions of Americans that feel that way. And I think that question was really important because what Donald Trump plays well in the manosphere. And it plays well with all of the Fox News, freebasers. But outside of that world, people that maybe dip in the news here, dip in the news there, they see that and they immediately know that man is weak, Donald Trump, in doing that.
Absolutely. And it's so disrespectful. And it turns out even middle America in red states, they expect respect from their leaders, decency, diplomacy. I'm just extremely impressed that he asked it with such fervor, because I'm like you. You know, the Fox Newsers, they think it's so great. The Bro podcast, oh, he's a strong guy. But this is a man that says, that's not okay to kick somebody while they're down. That is not okay to be disrespectful to somebody in a position of power. And so I really appreciated that. Well, and here is what they said to Congressman Edwards regarding Donald Trump and Ukraine.
Our next question is from Kathleen, zip code 28804. Why do you support a president that cares nothing about NATO, Ukraine, and democracy, but cares about Putin and other dictators?
Actually, I believe that the president is very supportive of Ukraine.
Turns out some of the national security Republicans are still alive. They're not watching Fox News, but they're here at these town halls, and I'm happy to see it.
Well, I think that it shows that for decades, we've been told about the fears of Vladimir Putin. And we know that inherently we try our very best to stand up for democracy, and we try our very best to always bend towards social justice. And I know that that road has not always been easy for Black people. And I know that that road has not always been easy for gay people. And I know that you see this MAGA movement beat up on you and bully you, and you see a bunch of white, angry Americans with spittle in their mouths, hammering down on your basic rights. And it's painful and it's difficult, but there was always at least a moment and a movement to try to make it better, I think people are starting to see now. If he's going to turn his back on veterans, if he's going to turn his back on women, if he's going to turn his back on the working class, he's turning his back on the Constitution. If he's turning his back on our allies and he's kissing a dictator's ass named Vladimir Putin, who is playing him like a fiddle, we are fucked. We are fucked beyond all comprehension. And I think there are a lot of people in red states that feast on cruelty and that feast on fear, because I know them and you know them, and they are bottom feeders extraordinaire, and they like the cruelty of this. But there is some decency in a lot of these red states, working class people who see what he's doing, and maybe they voted for him because they wanted more money in their bank accounts, and they're not real newsy. They don't follow the news cycle all the time. But when they see what they see right now, and they see it impacting themselves and people they love, they're outraged. And this is where the Democratic messaging needs to start hammering.
I completely agree. And another thing I think most middle Americans, even in red states, agree on is they don't like Elon Musk. And this was on display at this town hall.
Like him or not, Elon Musk has brought a lot of really smart people to Doge. And they're
Who's smart? Big Balls?
Big Balls is smart. How about the gal that's doing her get readies with me at the office? Here's the thing about Elon Musk. He is unelected. He is not a natural born citizen. He is a billionaire that is taking money away from people living paycheck to paycheck and firing people haphazard, doing illegal things, as we can tell by the courts. And people don't like it. You can tell by the sale of Tesla stock. You can see in the way people react to him in all areas. Nobody likes somebody doing the Nazi salute. I mean,
well, Nazis do. And this is where MAGA finds himself in a really weird position, because you have a bunch of people that, like Trump, who wants to go after the Jewish vote. And you have the ADL saying, oh, good on you for kidnapping a protester with a green card without due process. The ADL goes out and tweets that. And then at the same time, this party's full of Nazis. You've got Steve Bannon that does it. You have Elon Musk that does it. But one detail you missed about Elon Musk is he is a full-blown drug addict.
I did miss that.
And he is untreated. And so these mood swings and this insanity on Twitter and all of these baby mamas and all of this shit is just white trash. And he would never have the billions of dollars that he has right now without our tax dollars. So I still am waiting for somebody to explain to me, like I'm 5 fucking years old, how, if you're MAGA and you oppose foreigners coming into our country and taking our jobs, how do you support a South African coming over here and turning himself into a billionaire off your taxpayer money? Nobody has yet to answer that for me, and I'm waiting.
Well, I don't think it's answerable. Okay, and another Mr. Popularity in the Trump administration, we've got President Musk, and now we have Vice President J.D. Vance at the Kennedy Center, newly taken over by Donald J. Trump. Here we go.
Kill that light!
If I didn't think he was such a psycho, I'd be really happy for him. I'm sure he doesn't give a shit, but that's embarrassing.
That I just want to say to everybody, keep booing them, keep humiliating them, get louder, boycott Tesla, call them swastikars, bully and humiliate the fuck out of these people. And I want to remind everybody that J.D. Vance wears eyeliner and is a yassified, failed drag queen. And no disrespect to drag queens, because I am a huge connoisseur of all things drag. But J.D. Vance, if you Google it, in college, he dipped his toes into drag. And then, of course, he rushes out to Peter Thiel's gay camp. And then we come out, and some people in the comment section were saying they think that eyeliner is tattooed, which makes sense that he would have tattooed the eyeliner on. But anyway, J.D. Vance is a sociopath. And I want to say to the American public, quit voting for sociopaths. When people do things without ever touching on empathy, you're dealing with sociopathy. And you have that with Donald Trump. You have that with Elon Musk. You have that with J.D. Vance. You have that with Stephen Miller. This is a cesspool, a petri dish of sociopaths ruining our country and taking away benefits and services that so many Americans rely upon. And it is a travesty. So boo the fuck out of that queen. Booing.
Okay, and the final slide I have for you is the new favorability ratings for our fearless leader, President Musk, Donald Trump, and J.D. Vance. We've got Trump at -9%. We've got Vance at -10% and Musk at -21%. What do you think about that?
I think we can do better.
I do
think we have to
too.
bully them more. I think we have to be meaner. I think we need to unite more. These people do not understand nuanced arguments. They have no empathy, but they do understand humiliation. And this is fuck you politics, and let's let the humiliation tour begin.
Completely agree.
Make sure you subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to 1 million subs, and we'll see you all later.